Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing the good old fashioned Rogue Mage. I haven't done Rogue Mage in a minute, but I decided to do a coaching session, and this mage actually knew quite a bit already, so we're in Discord, first time playing. He played some Frost, and then we decided to switch to Fire to try it out, so he ends up getting a DB into a full Sheep. We end up almost killing in the opener, as you can see, but regardless, I have blind and I have a full kidney off this, so out of this trank, we're just gonna full kidney, not allowing him to do any healing. My mage is gonna keep hitting him as I just restun off my gouge, and at this point, it's pretty much GG. He's running the automatic trinket, so he pretty much already failed. Um, Pretty much a easy win. Now, fire is obviously a lot better for this comp, but I also had some fire in here, so he played like half frost, half fire. We ended up only losing like two matches out of all these, so I end up having him 1v1 the DK at first. He ends up fake casting. I end up bombing here. We end up getting Iceborne and his basically every CD in the opener. Druid's sitting all the way back, literally doing nothing because he's a Rusted Druid. I blind him here. At this point, he trinkets. I Shadow Idol. I'm gonna evasion so he can't heal off me, and we end up taking him out. So close match, but as you can see, the Rusted Druid's still AFK behind the pillar, and that's how you play Rusted Druid. You can just heal up, sit behind the pillar, and not have to do anything. Lol. Demo Lock, Rusted Druid, kind of a difficult comp. Um, Rusted Druid in general is really hard to beat. Um, this my mage at the moment only has full greens. He has no two set. He basically has no epics at all. He has nothing. All he has is the regular green gear. So had he had everything, it probably would have been a big difference. Here we end up opening. He ends up using Dark Pack. At this point, we also get Trinket. I'm using combo points off the pet. I'm trying to get a resell. I use my racial so I can get a re before the druid dots me. And at this point, I can continue the druid and then stun the lock whenever whenever the DR comes off. At this point, he's just 1v1ing. The druid's gonna open any second. I kidney, cheap. He can sheep if possible. Let's see if he gets it. Yep, he sheeps off my cheap. We get wall, and we pretty much gotten everything other than trinket. And I also have blind the next go. Honestly, it probably would have been worth to stay out there and just blind off that sheep. That way we could have got the druid's trinket. But I ended up just holding because I was like, there's no way we're gonna kill him. He has full wall, but my mage ended up just doing unhealable random damage. At this point, I'm gonna try to go for a sap. Obviously, I'm waiting for the DR to come off. I get the full sap. We're gonna open on the warlock. I think I end up breaking. No, I don't. Okay, I thought secret would end up breaking it. I cheap shot the druid here, trying to do unhealable damage. I might shadowy duel. Yeah, so here he coils me. He ports, which was really bad. The reason is now his healer can't heal him. So at this point, I just blind, and we're just gonna try to full send and try to kill him here. I ended up using my secret tech wrong. I didn't have combo points for it. He probably would have died had I used it right. He ends up hellstoning at this point, and a sheep would be nice. I think I go and gouge him here in a second, so I bomb here. So I bomb, and now I'm gonna either kidney, and then I can gouge off that if I need to. But I think I just go for the dam and try to kill him. So I gouge. At this point, he needs to die. So we get a full eviscerate with the no dance, and we end up taking him out. Close game. This druid obviously keeps trying to survive. So we end up just going to get some food. We eat it up, and then we go back out, and we end up taking him out. I don't even know if he dies here, actually. I think he actually survives. So yeah, the druids just have a tendency to not just want to AFK out. Instead, they just want to sit bear form and full. This guy is literally self-healing himself to full with Trents in bear form while we're full sending him, so that's very nice. Buff Rusted Druid, obviously. And at this point now we're just waiting for the DLRs, and we pretty much just win off Ironbark. So I'm getting my combo points. Obviously the Shadow Strike and Stealth is still bugged. So whenever you Shadow Strike in Stealth, it's usually supposed to teleport you. It doesn't do that anymore, which is stupid, but we end up taking them out, and we go to the next game. So Shaman, Priest, what we're going to do is we're going to sap the, Priest whenever he can pre-DB. Usually here I just went in, I just sapped, and we just went. I didn't even worry about the DB in the first place. I just went, full on. So we get wall here. At this point, I'm going to try to resap. Nice, we get the resap. At this point, I'm going to cheap shot. We're going to swap to the priest here, see if we can get any damage. Had he been fire, we probably would have been able to get more CDs than what we got. But, it is what it is. My guy's still doing pretty big dam. I'm a disarm. This is PI. I think I get hexed here. Don't put Shadowy Duel. At this point, now we're just running away. The main goal is just to try to sap the priest. So I'm gonna get a re-stealth, and since the priest and the shaman are both on the opposite side, I'm gonna be able to sap him and then full stun. And we should end up winning the game. I'm gonna vanish so I can get the speed, blind, and here we need a win. And I think we barely end up winning here with a big dam, and we end up taking him out. So off that blind, we also had a full kidney, so pretty much he was kind of dead no matter what. And for the next game, so now this is the fire games. I have like 3 fire games on here. Pretty much the same thing. We're gonna run in there. We're gonna sap the DH, and then we're gonna swap it. So we sap whenever my guy can DB the DH. I'm gonna swap the sap. So I swap on the DB, cheap shot, and I try to get the space in. Obviously, I know they're stacked, so I can't use my secret. At this point, I'm kind of just pumping damage on the priest, and we end up almost getting a trinket. We get darkness and angel, so regardless, we still get a lot of CDs. I end up trying to get away here. I think I might end up vanishing. We'll see what happens. He ends up sheeping here. At this point, the priest has trinket. I have blind. The DH has no trinket, and I have smoke bomb. So I think I'm gonna cheap shot the priest into a stun. So nice. So we get a good go. Smoke bomb. Big damn here. And I don't know if we kill here. I don't think so. I think we were close, but he ends up trinketing. I blind off the trinket, which was probably pretty bad because we couldn't really kill him here in the first place. But you know, it is what it is. I get 3 seconds stun. 1, 2, 3. I almost die because the DH is you know, not nerfed enough, I guess. So I end up almost getting 100 out in 3 seconds. Very nice. At this point, we need to go. I'm going to cheap shot, and then we're going to go off this. I can blind off the cheap if I have to, but it's pretty much overkill. It's GG. And then, yeah, it's just, there's nothing they can do about that one. So, 3 we on. Another game that was, you know, it is what it is. So pretty much, you know, fire's definitely better for rogue mage. Obviously, if my guy had gear, we'd be toaster ovening people. It's actually 6:30 a.m. over here. I'm actually tired, surprisingly. So here we're getting our combo points. The rogue's gonna open on us, so we're gonna space it out. My guy ends up DBing the rogue, which is not terrible. I cheap shot. I get the grounding. He's gonna sheep. Just kidding. I blind here. Now we're just gonna pump this guy because obviously he's corroded, so he's not gonna be able to do anything. I shadowy duel him. He just uses his cloak. We also get spirit link. I end up almost dying. With the most unhealable dam. At this point, we've gotten a lot of CDs. I trinket, and now we need to pretty much win here. I cheap shot, and he gets taken out. So sheep into a sheep, and he gets dumpstered. And this last match was actually pretty difficult. Honestly, we definitely shouldn't have won it, but, you know, we ended up just outplaying him just enough to where it was like, alright, well, it ended up being nice. So this is a hard matchup right here. Definitely should have been an L. Had my mage had full gear, we probably would have won a lot sooner. But, you know, we could only, you know, be grateful that we won it all. Residue Warrior. Warriors in general right now are super tanky, and Residures are obviously just insanely broken. Pretty much all you'd have to do as a Residue is trank pretty much just have tranks up whenever you're about to go off DR, and then have your trank just heal the you know, warrior to full, because, like, it wouldn't matter. So that's how you play Residue versus a rogue mage. You just literally check your own DRs, and right before your DRs end, just summon a Trent or 2, and then when they go on top of you, you're going to have your Trents to be able to just heal. So here the Druid opens. At this point, I'm going to cheap out of form, cheap him, now he can sheep. Nice. I trinket the disarm so I can restun him. I bomb here just in case trinkets, nice. I shadowy duel him so my mage can just keep on throttling. At this point, I'm not going to blind. I could blind, but I don't think I am because we can't stun the warrior, even though he's low. That's the one thing bad about trinketing a disarm, is obviously I'm just sitting the CC, but I kind of have to. We swap to the druid, but since he can skin all my dam, it is what it is. We get him to about 40%, and at this point, I do have blind, so I end up vanishing to reset the CDR on my CDs. At this point, we could go for a sap and then go back on the warrior. Let's see if I get it. So going for the sap, I think I end up getting it. Yep, full sap, cheap shot. Big dam on the warrior here. We're going to try to blind the druid. Nice. Get a full blind. You'd think he would die here, but he's a warrior, so he not today. This guy doesn't even know he has a wall. We were almost losing to somebody who doesn't even know how to play his lone wall. This guy ended up not walling almost the entire game to like the very end. So there's that. At this point, you know, we get another re. The druid just lets me get a re-stealth without even a care in the world. He could have just bleeded me. I end up trying to see if I can find the druid with my sap macro, and I end up not getting him. He sheeps him here, which is nice, so now the warrior can't do anything. We do have bust. We'll see what happens. The druid actually ends up getting me out of stealth. Isn't that nice? I didn't even see him before he could see me, and I'm a rogue. That's crazy. It's like having a hunter. A hunter can see like 20 yards away. Here we're going to cheap shot the warrior, or the druid, and then we're going to cheap shot the warrior. And we get the full sheep. No, actually we don't get the sheep. Unless he trinketed. Yeah, no, he trinketed. Okay. So he trinkets here, which is unfortunate. We get another sheep into a kidney. You'd think he would die here. He still is immortal. He can't die. Still not dead. Still survives. How is it possible? I don't even know. So this warrior lived. I don't know how he even lived. It's full on CC, but since he's a warrior, he's pretty much fine the entire game. He finally ends up walling air out of nowhere. At this point, the game should be over. We pretty much lost. At this point, we got very lucky that my guy ended up kiting enough to where we were like, okay, we're good enough. So, you know, good kiting by my guy here. I ended up sapping him just to stop the damage. I'm trying to sap the druid here at this point. I'm going to cheap him, and then I'm going to cheap this guy. He's going to ring. He gets the full ring. At this point, we need to win the game. I end up, you know, unhealable damning, and we end up almost not taking him out again. So again, he ends up surviving because he's a warrior. At this point, we have to kill. I blind him off this, the most CC, and he's still self-healing himself to full. Finally, after 2 minutes, 2 to 4 minutes of a game, he finally gets down, and we end up taking him out after that long of them just being completely broken. That's a Rested Druid, and that's a Fury Warrior for you. Versus, I mean, double DPS is already kind of dead. I mean, if you're playing a double DPS, you're obviously going to get farmed by every healer DPS since it takes 0 skill and, you know, dampening's not on your side in any way possible, shape, or form. But, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys would like to support the channel. Make sure you go to my Cash App or my PayPal down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. If you want to see more Rogue Mage in the future, let me know. But, peace.